The band Coheed and Cambria bases their storyline and their albums off of the comic book series Amory Wars. There are 5 albums: Second Stage Turbine Blade, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, Volume 1 From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness, and Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, Volume 2, No World for Tomorrow. And most recently, they released a prequel album called Year of the Black Rainbow. And if you bought the deluxe edition, which I did, you received a novel. And the novel is also called Year of the Black Rainbow. And it talks about the beginning of how all of this started. And there are 64 planets in a keywork. They're aligned in a triangle. And they are held together by this energy called the keywork. And people were harvesting energy from the keywork and using it for dirty things and whatnot. So a professor named Hohenberger created iRobots, which he named Coheed and Cambria, and there was Jesse, who's a third one, but he's not really of any consequence in the beginning of the Amory Wars series. In the story, he ends up being blackmailed, and he has to put a virus in Coheed and Cambria. He splits it into 2 parts, and Coheed has part of it, Cambria has part of it, and if it joins together and gets in these dragonflies called the syringa, then it will blow apart. It'll cool the keywork, and it will make all the planets drift apart and kill everybody. And at the end of it, Josephine was a child, was a baby, and she was the cure for this virus. Then we go into Amory Wars, and the first one is when they have 4 children in this one. There's Josephine, of course, because they've been brainwashed. And there's Josephine, Claudio, Mia, and Matthew. Coheed is tricked into believing that the children are the ones with the virus, that the virus within Coheed and Cambria has mutated and will be what kills the keywork when it's actually them. So he is tricked into killing them. So he's given 4 vials of poison, and he gives it to Mia and Matthew. And they died in so much pain he couldn't bear it, so he hits Josephine in the head with a hammer. But before Claudio could get back, they found out that it was a trick, and they set out for revenge because they assumed that Claudio was dead anyway. So there's a big fight at the end of Second Stage Turbine Blade, Volume 2, and the virus ends up activating. And there's Coheed manages to cools the keywork, and 9 planets drift apart in addition to a sun, so you get the gist here of it. And Cambria ends up restarting the keywork. And not all of the comic books are out yet, but if you draw the ending from the albums, if you try to interpret it, it almost sounds as if the keywork ends up getting blown apart anyway, but Claudio, the one surviving child, ends up on one of these planets, and he's trying to tell his story. And this makes sense because the lead singer of the band's name is named Claudio, and his name's Claudio, and the character's name's Claudio. So it would make sense because the band is telling the story, and it all goes together, and it's really neat, and it's I highly recommend. Especially the novel is great. The comic book series is wonderful, and the band, even if you don't get into comic books, the band is great, and it's great music, and I really enjoy it.